Okay guys, today we're going to look at factoring with a quadratic formula. We'll look at one that we have factors for, which I've already written out our factors for x cubed plus 5x squared plus 6x. If you need a review, go back and look at the lesson before this. But we'll take a x out, then we factor our a value, which is 1, so we have 1 times 1. Then we factor our 6 out, and I know that we only need to work with the positive, and really I only have to write 1 and 6 and 2 and 3 because the a values are the same. From here we do 2 plus 3, which will equal 5, and we'll get our answer. So we'll have x times x plus 2 times x plus 3. And that will give us our first factor. Now, like I said, if you need help with factoring, go back and look at one of the previous videos where I talked about factoring. Now, in this case, we can factor it, we'll get it worked out. We can also take the quadratic formula, and I will write it in the top right corner. It is negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And I will write the B, A's, and C's in the appropriate color that I have at the top. So we'll have negative 5 plus or minus the square root of 5 squared minus 4AC all over 2a. And then you can plug into the calculator. We'll get negative 5 plus or minus 25 root 25 minus 24 over 2, which will give us negative 5 plus or minus 1 over 2. And I'll write everything out. We'll have negative 4 over 2, negative 6 over 2 are two factors, or two zeros, or solutions I should say, which will be negative 2, I'll keep it in order, and negative 3. So we can then take that. We have x equals negative 2. We have x equals negative 3. To find our factors, we're going to add 2 to both sides. So we get x plus 2 equals 0, and we'll get x plus 3 equals 0. And that's how factors and zero or solutions, x-intercepts or zeros work together. And remember, when we look for zeros, we can call that x-intercepts, solutions, or roots. The next problem we'll look at is one that does not have factors. We'll look at x cubed plus 12x squared plus 6x. We can still take out a x and gives us x squared plus 12x plus 6x. Oh, 6. And then we just do the quadratic formula. And again, I will use the appropriate colors. We have negative 12. So always put that parentheses there not to get confused. Plus or minus the square root of 12 squared minus 4a, which is 1, c, which is 6, all over 2a. And so we'll take that and we'll get, and I'll just write everything in blank now, we'll get negative 12 plus or minus 144 minus 24 over 2. We'll have negative 12 plus or minus root 120 over 2. And we will factor out 120, that's 4 times 30. And the square root of 4 is 2. So we'll have negative 12 plus or minus 2 root 30 over 2. We factor out 2 of 12 and 2. So I'm going to move back up here because I'm running out of space. So we'll get 2 parentheses negative 6 plus or minus root 30 divided by 2. Cross that out. And so all zeros would be x equals negative 6 plus or minus root 30. And so if you would like, you could make factors out of those. Root 30 is a irrational number, meaning the decimal does not end, so we normally just leave them at zeros. Very rarely will we ask you to find a factor, if ever, find a factor of a unfactorable equation. So if we ask for the solutions, this is how you would find it. The factors, again, is a quicker way of finding the solutions.